Neo, it's you.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm back. I was putting away my ice cream.
Oh.
Bruh.
What? The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold entry record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over.
Well, this doesn't help me one bit.
Oh fuck, shit, piss. Memeing. I gotta post a meme. Ow! Mr. Sprocket, you've concealed information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating the court of law
Who do
with
you
such
think
irrelevance,
you
irreverence?
are? Run around leaving stuff.
With that being said, I do appreciate the testimony you just gave.
Don't care.
Thanks to you, we now know why your name didn't appear on the entry record. Now there's no more inconsistencies in the witness's testimony.
Ugh.
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. He never leaves a loose end dangling. You
I'm
okay,
only
Nick?
going to lightly strangle you.
What exactly?
Consider it a mercy.
I would exactly call this situation okay. Somehow I have to collect the information we need for opening out of him. If I even can, that is. I know what you are. I can perceive it.
Gay.
Hold it!
You didn't mention this because you didn't want Mr. Nickady to fall under suspicion? Is that because he has something to hide?
I just didn't want the police to take up his time with other questions, that's all. Neither the company nor the household would function smoothly without him.
I see. Wow, sounds like Pierce is absolutely indispensable to the Sprockets. Anyway, getting back to your statement. When did you meet up with Mr. Nickady?
We met up on my way to the Vista deck. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard the commotion and came running to my aid.
He could hear the pandemonium.
Pandemonium!
There we go. You could hear the pandemonium
spotted.
all the way from the floor.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted. All the way to another floor? Why, yes, Your Honor. Have it added.
What do you take me for?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Very well.
That
No.
new dialogue.
Pierce heard the commotion and he came running. That's why my name doesn't appear on the hold entry record. I was badly injured for being stabbed.
Shut
and I
up.
was ran.
Speaking of your injury, how are you doing now?
The knife wound is deep and continues to throb with pain. Fortunately, my internal organs were spared. One wrong move would have spelled the end for me there.
Even so, I seen you up and about all over the place since the incident.
I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercises.
Mr. Wright? Would you like Mr. Sprocket's statement about his condition added to his testimony? Not that it appears especially relevant to me.
Should I have him added to his testimony? Have it added. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added to his testimony.
I see. Very well. Do the thing.
He did the thing.
Objection!
Mr. Sprocket, you just said your injury is a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was this candelabra. A fact I know you're quite aware of. Hey, Pierce.
Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmised, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception.
I fucking get you.
He said, "I'm coming to fucking get you."
Grab my hand.
Miguel
The
O'Hara
happy
chasing
couple
after
was in the
Miles.
reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared.
Miles!
He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Ho ho hee hee ha ha to the funny
To the
part.
funny part, my
Let
life
me
is
feel-
beautiful all the time.
It's hard to say it so fast. It's such a hard line to say fast. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Are you going to start bleeding in the courtroom, bitch?
But you gotta be careful, you get a paper cut on your finger for flipping your pages fast. And Neo died.
But.
Objection!
Must have been a small memory slip that made him misspeak. Happens to everyone. It has nothing to do with this case. You must be pretty desperate to point out something so minute.
Nah.
bitch! I have to agree, Mr. Wright. You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake.
But I contend that it's an important consistency. Besides, I couldn't find anything else. It's the only thing I have to go after.
Why do you always insist on making my life hard, Mr. Wright?
Because I want to prove my client's innocence. It's you're the
You can
judge.
lose once.
It's your job as the judge. Preside, motherfucker.
It's cool for you to lose every once in a while. No one will think less of you. People think more or less of you because you bring orcas to the fucking courtroom.
And parrots. And
The
terrorists.
judge just quietly, calmly reaches beneath his desk and pulls out the biggest shotgun you've ever seen. And I say it's not important. Now let's not waste any more time on this matter. I agree. Everybody! Sorry.
No.
Everybody has a little memory lapse every now and then.
Hold it!
But Your Honor, please let me explain.
No! But can you? Can you really explain to this court what makes this slip so important?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Soren himself who told Pierce that he had been stabbed by a candelabra. It's more than a simple memory slip. There had to be some kind of reason for it.
Well, Mr. Wright? Please explain why the witness's slip of the tongue is so important.
The point to focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon used to stab him. Think carefully, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of the trial. Ace Attorney fucking 10 and Phoenix is like 50 years old. They call me the Turnabout Terror back in my day.
No, they did not. Only Athena calls you that.
Exactly! Shut the fuck up!
I see. So why did the witness make that mistake, Mr. Bitch?
Mr. Sprocket identified the wrong weapon used against him because he has no memory of it. The accident's fucking you up, Mr. Sprocket, I can tell. He doesn't remember the incident, let alone the weapon used against him. Not only that, but I believe Mr. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. Therefore, the defense contends that Mr. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid.
Objection!
Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out? Your baseless claim is nothing but pure slander of the witness's character. Mr. Edgeworth is correct, Mr. Wright. Can you explain your grounds for making this claim?
Of course, Your Honor. Think of what Soren has said, how he's believed. Think of what Soren has said, how he's behaved. That's where I'll find a clue.
Very well, let's hear your argument then.
My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has a memory disorder is his notebook. The notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about the people around him recorded in it.
Like a diary, perhaps?
No, Your Honor. It's much too detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more on the order of a database, actually.
A
Oh.
database, you say?
Oh, his memory loss must be really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's right. For some reason, Mr. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain memories. That's why he writes every little detail of his life down in his notebook.
Objection!
Pardon me? How could you know that for sure? Wait, that's not the right voice. He might just be... How could you possibly know that for sure? He might just be an extremely compulsive person.
I thought so too, myself, at first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on that notebook yesterday.
You mean you got a stain on it?
Hey! You're the one who tried to grab out of my...
Never mind whose fault it was, just get to the point already.
Right, sorry. Mr. Sprocket? The page Miss Faye got a stain on yesterday. That's the page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it?
No. I only write in this notebook because I'm very compulsive. Now drop the subject already.
Nah, I'm dragging it out. Sorry, but I'm not convinced. I know it's an odd fact about your notebook, Mr. Sprocket. On the earlier pages, you used it to write down invention ideas. But after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more, and in much more detail. I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date!
Something so monumental, it caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about, and this is the proof! This is the thing that caused Mr. Sprocket's memory disorder.
Take that!
You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mr. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved's older sister is what caused you to develop your memory disorder.
Is that true, Mr. Sprocket? Well, is it? Oh yeah, but fucking chicken. I should probably eat that.
Mia, wake up.
So the massive box of fries.
I think you might have a breakdown coming up. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Mr. Sprocket!
It's true. That accident did something to my mind.
What?
Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. And when I wake up, the most recent thing I can remember is the day I lost my sister. Damn, that fucking hurts. It's as if I'm constantly going back in time.
You need to get your brain checked, Soren?
Therapy now. I mean, what? That's truly tragic. Ooh! Oh, it's spicy! Oh! Whoo! That Popeyes kicks like a mule. I'm awake. An inconsolable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. It's astounding. His time is fleeting. Madness is
Besides,
taking its toll.
time travelers do exist, you know? But you wouldn't understand.
So that's what Soren meant. He was talking about himself.
Don't take a nap or you'll do the time warp again.
The reactions of the people around me each time I awoke made me aware of my condition. That's why I decided to write everything down in my notebook, so I could move forward.
The only memories you have since that day are the ones written in that notebook?
That's right.
Since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read from it, could you? There's just one more thing I like you to clarify for me, Mr. Sprocket. Exactly what are your feelings towards the victim?
Mr. Sprocket's feelings towards Dumas Gloomsbury?
That's right, Your Honor. The witness said that every time he wakes up from sleep, his mind goes back to the day his sister died.
Mr. Wright, you can't mean...
Mr. Sprocket! Your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment toward Mr. Gloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you woke, were they not?
Ugh.
But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned to murder, isn't that right?
What? Mr. Wright, are you saying the witness murdered Mr. Gloomsbury? For revenge? Ugh!
Well, Mr. Sprocket!
That was a terrible noise. I hated that.
I...
Oh, God.
Oh, it's gonna be...
Ellen.
Ellen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Miss White? Your Honor? I did it. I killed Mr. Gloomsbury. No! Bitch, why? Miss White, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you're still thinking of going that route. Soren is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me instead. Ellen, please, try and get a hold of yourself. I guess she really meant it. My Soren didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted.
Are we to understand you're confessing your guilt?
No, no, no! Now wait just a minute.
Ellen, why would you cover for me? After I testified that I thought you must have killed him?
I'll admit, I couldn't believe my ears at first. But all I want is for you to be happy. Your happiness is my happiness, Soren.
But without my notebook, I'd even forget those feelings of yours by tomorrow. Knowing that, do you still feel this way?
You loved me all this time. The same way you did before the accident. That's how I know that you're the same person I've always loved. No disorder can change that.
Ellen. Your Honor, there are two things I'd like to correct.
Two corrections? What are they?
First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. That's right, Dumas was killed by Ellen. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their word.
You can't be serious.
So that means Soren never really doubted Elle in the first place, did he, Nick?
Ellie really does love Soren with all her heart. But in order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. I hope you can forgive me, Ellen.
And what is your other correction, Mr. Sprocket?
The truth is, I never felt anger or resentment towards Dumas about my sister.
What? Why not?
That's because the one who caused the car accident. Oh no, it was him. No!
Whoa! What?
Order! Order in the court! Please continue, Mr. Sprocket.
I'm the one who killed my sister. To protect my career and my future, my father made Dumas take the blame. In exchange for money and the position of lead servant.
Damn.
So you see, Dumas must have held a grudge against me, not the other way around. And he must have attacked Ellen to get his revenge on me.
Are you sure about all of this, Mr. Sprocket?
Very sure. It's all been written down in detail in my notebook.
That notebook is important evidence supplying background to this case. I must insist you submit it as evidence.
The lawyer said that I had turned to murder. That's just not true. However, it is true that my older sister and Dumas are both dead because of me and my negligence.
That's fucked up, man.
I just glanced through Mr. Sprocket's notebook. I wasn't able to read the part about when he was stabbed due to the bloodstain. But what's written here about his sister's car accident is exactly as he stated. Your Honor, can I see that? Death! As long as it matches what's written in the notebook. Can we still take a the witness's testimony as valid, in spite of his memory disorder?
I mean, if he has a detailed, like, notebook, then yeah.
Yeah. Then everything he's written down could be used as testimony.
Yes, I believe we can. I understand now. That's not the right voice. Sorry, I'm being killed by chicken. I understand now that the witness's memory is in disarray. But if what Mr. Sprocket himself wrote in this notebook is true, how the fuck did you get that? Then that means by the time Mr. Sprocket's party reached the scene, the victim had already been killed!
Edgeworth's right. I'm still in the same blind as ever. I mean, I'm still in the same bind as before. Should I really simply accept the contents of the notebook as a substitute for Soren's memory? I mean, yeah, but at the same time,
What?
no.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Will you accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories?
Will I accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories?
Don't repeat me!
No, because someone like... You could easily, like, take a piece of that notebook out, and for example, the bloodstain, he can, like, misremember stuff. Wait a minute, Your Honor. The defense requests a chance to examine the notebook to see if it's trustworthy.
Very well, but be quick about it.
Thank you, Your Honor. And here we go.
So how should we examine it?
Well, we should look at it from all different angles to see if there's anything suspicious. Ah!
DS puzzles upon you, bitch!
There's no point if I don't look at what's inside. I have to open it. With your permission, Soren, here I go.
I don't give permission.
Ah! Oh, it's just a page my got all stained. I guess it's not going to be
I
very helpful at
see
the
a
moment.
moth.
I'll keep going. Oh, hey, look at this.
Ah,
This is the last page where there's writing. Something about this page doesn't sit right with me.
I just see a big eye.
I better take a closer look. Yeah, because every time someone rips his house, it's like a perfect clean rip.
Yeah. So someone else must have tore it out.
Huh? A page has been torn out. It looks like there was something written on it. It looks like a page has been torn out here. Mr. Sprocket, do you know what was written on it?
Oh, that? I often tear out a page when I write somebody a note. I probably wrote something down for somebody, tore it out, and gave it to them.
Yeah, but that's a clean rip, man.
Yeah, he's pretty clean with it.
Wow. Enemy spotted.
Paper airplane, go.
Oh yeah.
That solves that then.
Objection!
Wait a minute. We can't ignore the possibility that something important was written on that page.
Yes, we can. I do it all the time. Fuck you. But now that that page has been, torn out, how can we determine what was written there?
Well, let's see, to find out
DS puzzles.
Let's see, to find out what was written in the notebook, we should... Oh my fucking god. If we use fingerprint powder on the notebook, we might be able to see what was written.
Fingerprint powder? How would that help us find out what was written there?
Well...
I cast DS puzzle.
Ah. Well, the writing left indentations... There you go. Well, the writing left indentations on the blank page behind it. Fingerprint powder could make those small indentation... Fuck, I keep fucking up this word! Indentations visible to the naked eye.
Oh, stop. Fingerprint powder would only sully the notebook further. Mr. Wright, if you use the powder and still don't find anything, then you must accept the notebook as a representation of the witness's memories.
Alright, Your Honor, I understand. If I don't find anything, it's all over anyway. Powder, don't fail me now. I will now use fingerprint powder on the blank page. To find out if
Is that sprite the same one from the first game?
I think so. To find out we can see what was written on the torn out page. First, I'll apply... Oh my fucking... Oh, I know what to do. Ah!
Suffer, right?
Oops.
Suffer, right? This is my last trick. The judge's trick.
Ghost trick?
No. It's a Joker's trick joke.
I prefer ghost trick. Fuck your notebook, Soren.
Pardon me.
Ah? What? LA Noir moment? I shrug. I shrug.
Uh-oh.
Oh my
Killed
god.
him. That's not good, is it?
No.
That's bad. Is it his same handwriting? Can we analyze it or something?
What the?
With the foot. There's something on the back.
Oh my god, you're really getting DS puzzled.
There's so much shit happening.
It says I shuck and kill Dumas. This is huge. I struck and
You're going
killed
to get
Dumas.
guilty, but
That was written on the torn out page.
what? It can't be.
I don't believe it! There has to be some kind of mistake! Soren would never, could never!
And she fainted.
Miss White! You can't?
Bailiff, please get the defendant to the infirmary at once. Suck the fun out of my victory. How dare you pass out? Fuck you. Honestly, you suck. Judge never gets to have anything. Apparently, the defendant got too worked up. She's resting in the infirmary as we speak. Now then, please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. This notebook all Mrs. Sprocket has to remember things by. With this critical page torn out, not even Mr. Sprocket himself knew the truth of what he'd done.
I'm the one who killed Dumas. So it wasn't Ellen. Oh, thank goodness.
Mrs. Sprocket, does this mean you were at the crime scene during the murder after all?
I guess I must have been.
But Mr. Sprocket, can we really believe what's written in this notebook?
Nobody touches this notebook but me. And when I sleep, it's under lock and key. I don't remember writing that I killed Dumas, but I guess I must have.
I'm not trusting that for a second, because if you did kill him, you were wrote in excruciating detail.
Yeah. So me thinks someone
Well?
else got it, wrote it in the notebook to make him think that he killed somebody.
Ow, my knucks.
Now that we have a confession, I'm afraid I must render my verdict. Fuck you. Of all the...
Yes, Your Honor. Please give your ruling now, while Ellen is asleep. I want the woman I love to be set free as soon as possible.
Soren really does love Ellen after all, doesn't he?
Yeah. So this is how it ends. But is that how it really went down? Is there really no way for them both to be happy?
Huh. I know we should consider anything written in the notebook to be truth, but still.
I myself wrote of the crime in my notebook. No further proof is necessary.
Soren himself wrote it in his
Handwriting
notebook.
analysis.
Wait a minute.
Very well. I will now give my verdict. Go fuck yourself, Phoenix!
Ellen's about to be found not guilty, and Soren will be convicted for the crime instead. And yet, am I really ready for the judge to give his ruling? No! No. Not when there's still one more avenue left to explore.
Hold it!
Help me, Blue Badger! Stop him! Chokes out Judge.
You don't tell me what to do, motherfucker.
Your Honor, there's still something
I
that
am
bothers
Blue
me about
Badger.
that notebook.
Huh? Oh, is there? I want to start moving my hammer faster. What do you think? That way I don't get sniped by fucking objections. What are you doing, Mr. Wright? All you have to do is keep quiet and your client is a free woman.
I know, but I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think there still might be a way. A way for Ellen and Soren to be happy. More than meets the eye. Da-na-na-na-na. Oh yeah, that
What do you mean by sad gay robots, Mr. Wright?
That Transformer collab comes out next week for Overwatch. I believe the
I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. I remember I was the one who was like, hey, you guys would be interested in that.
Overwatch my fucking Junkrat skills are gone, and
I made a bet with someone.
I don't even know how Activision account stuff works over Steam.
I made a bet with someone on Twitter that if Reinhardt doesn't get like a Transformer skin, he'll give everyone $100. And I was like,
Oh
bet.
my god.
I believe the question here, Your Honor, should be, why was this incriminating page shown out in the first place?
Stupid Overwatch.
Welcome to my world.
Stupid, sexy everyone.
You're not wrong.
All I'm hoping for is a Starscream skin.
Yay!
What?
It's dumb. This bit's real dumb. Why to destroy the evidence, I would imagine.
But removing it from the notebook is the same as removing it from Mr. Sprocket's memory. Would mean he wouldn't have been able to trick the police if he came under suspicion. No, if he wanted to cover up his crime, he would have to remember that he had done it.
Already installing other games and got Guilty Gear today and Ratchet and Clank and as well as staring at a hot furry ass for a few hours. How dare they make me stare at a hot non-furry ass? This bitch is getting dumber by the second.
I mean, there's always Winston for you.
Winston!
Winston is not worth my time.
He's just an animal.
And he's boring.
Don't even get me started about the fucking hamster. He can't even speak. Mass? Did I just hear what I thought I heard?
Hear me out. This is a joke. 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 This is a joke.
It's a joke.
I said it fast enough so that someone can edit it.
I mean, I could just edit a clip and just be like with Hammond.
Nick? I know where you live. I'm approaching rapidly.
Start running.
Just what are you getting at with this line of inquiry, Mr. Wright? And my big Overwatch hear me out is still Junkrat.
Mm.
That man is bisexual and in a relationship with Roadhog, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah. Even fucking Lifeweaver sees it. He's like, you two are like partners, right?
And to the May shippers, no, May deserves nothing. May deserves death. I'm not over Overwatch 1 May.
It's a grudge.
Bye. That motherfucker freezes in front of me one more time, people are gonna die. Yes, please explain it so we can all understand.
Yes, Your Honor. The page was
I have held this grudge for years.
the page was torn out of the notebook because somebody else tore it out. The incriminating page was torn out by somebody else.
What? Order! Order! Are you claiming a third person interfered with the notebook?
Not all that surprising if you consider what happened up until now. After both the car accident and the murder of Dumas Gloomsbury, there was always a cover-up not far behind.
But I had my notebook with me at all times.
Did you? Because I remember you were in a panic yesterday because you couldn't find it.
That's true.
So, who orchestrated this particular cover, right, Mr. Wright?
If we think back over the course of the trial, it's pretty easy to guess. The one who may have tried to tamper with Soren's memory is Pierce Nickety.
Pierce.
The one who tampered with the notebook in order to manipulate Mr. Sprocket's memory is Pierce Nickety! Breakdown?
Oh boy. Pierce. Pierce tried to tamper with my memories. Pierce was manipulating me.
Case in point, the two receptions that were held to cover up the murder. It was Mr. Nickety who directed the guests and orchestrated the entire scheme.
No, it can't be. Which of my memories are mine and which have been rewritten? When did he start rewriting my memories? Who wrote this? And this? And this? And this? And this? And this? And this? Ah!
What the fuck?
3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Ah!
That's the third
He
someone
literally
has
took
lived
off!
in my goddamn courtroom! I hate this. I hate this.
Look, Nick, he's coming back down.
Sorry, I'm back from the moon.
Vector?
It's a nice trip. My memories. Ellen.
Memory.
Mr. Sprocket!
To sit lullaby. Open up my eyes.
Memory. All alone in the moonlight.
Weekend?
Bailiff, please get Mr. Sprocket to the infirmary on the double. And bill him for fucking up my ceiling. Fucking time. Mr. Sprocket has been taken to the infirmary. We don't have to worry about him running away, so let us just resume where we left off.
Your Honor? The defense would like to call Pierce Nickety to the stand.
Objection!
One minute. We already know he carried out the cover-up to protect the company and Mr. Sprocket. What more do you want from him?
This time is different. The notebook, or rather, Mrs. Sprocket's memories, have been tampered with. That means the only person who knows the whole truth is now Mr. Nickety.
Don't tell me. Are you actually trying to drum up a third suspect? In order to exonerate the defendant and her groom? You know, you can take a free win.
I'm not drumming
I've
up.
done it a lot.
I'm not drumming up anything, nor do I have grounds to accuse him of anything yet. All I know is that Mr. Nickety is the only one who knows the truth. Did someone literally go to my comment and say Yomi more like yummy? What the?
What? Hold on, I tapped out. What do you mean?
I got a notification for one of my Raincoat videos, and one of the fucking comment literally said Yomi more like yummy. I'm like, what the fuck? Huh?
You did that.
Well,
I mean, people have their tastes, I guess.
well, what do you expect with this my sexy voice over here?
Did Martina write that comment?
Probably.
Or did Hitman Zilch write that comment?
Probably.
I do not find this bitch boy attractive. How
Oh,
dare
are you sure about that?
Yes, you do. And I
fanfic should prove it.
think he's still hiding something we don't know about yet.
No grounds yet, is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution consent to calling the witness to the stand? It does, Your Honor. This ought to be entertaining.
The anal dress. Yeah, I remember.
However,
that.
I would like a little time to talk with the witness before we do. Very well. We will break for a 20-minute recess. Dibs on the slide!
Now I have to face Pierce on the stand. I'm not sure if I should be surprised or not. One thing for sure, he won't be an easy adversary.
So, do you think Pierce did it?
It's too early to say anything at this point. But I do think he's still hiding something. Why did you put everything I saw and losers back there? Looks like Larry still hasn't given up on Ellen. If this Pierce guy is a real bad guy, then Sora and my Ellie will live happily ever after together! Larry, that's not the kind of thing a decent human being says.
Shame on you, Larry.
Kill Larry. Oh, boo! You think I don't know? I know I had to give up on my Ellie. But Nick, promise you'll make her happy. She deserves a happily ever after. I'm sure Sora will make her happy once all this is said and done. Trying to matter resume is alright. Thanks, Mika. Alright, you ready, Maya?
Yep, let's go.
I'll be rooting for you, Nick. Thanks, Kazuichi. Very cool. He's right there.
This court is now back in session. Witness, please take the stand.
I like your shoes. I'm stealing them.
The fuck you are? Please state your name and occupation. My name is Pierce Nickety. And I don't think this is the right voice. Hold up. Just a little bit. I am the Sprocket family butler. That's more like it.
Let's get straight to the point, Mr. Nickety. Someone tore out a page from Mr. Sprocket's notebook to manipulate his memories. And that person was you, wasn't it?
Nice theory. Care to back it up with a source?
You just admitted it.
Fuck! Joke ruined! Fuck! Joke ruined! That is correct. What about it? Bitch.
Well, that was easy. So why did you do it? Why did you tamper with Mr. Sprocket's notebook?
Why are you such a little bitch?
Why are you tampering with someone's memories? That's kind of fucked up, sir.
Please, allow me to explain. It pains me to do this, but I will tell you the truth.
It pains you?
That is correct. For my testimony, you will go against Master Soren's wishes.
Soren's wishes? What's he talking about? Allegra? Aw.
I rushed to the Vista deck, but the crime had already been committed. I saw Miss Ellen and Gloomsbury collapsed and Master Soren writing in his notebook. Master Soren said to me, "I'll take the blame for the murder, so please take care of Ellen." Oh, that was a terrible voice. I hated that. Like, that's a little too high. A little too high there. But it went against his order. I tore the page out of his notebook and hid the body.
Wait a second. When Mr. Sprocket was writing his notebook at the time, could it be? It was meant to be a confession? An admission he killed Gloomsbury himself? He wrote that message to take the blame for Miss White?
That is correct. Master Soren did hit Bloomsbury with a timekeeper to save Ellen. 7.
Then Mr. Sprocket was a croaker after all!
However, that blow did not kill Bloomsbury. That makes sense. Mr. Sprocket's injuries wouldn't allow him to put much force into it. Enraged, Gloomsbury tried to attack Master Soren, who was already seriously wounded. But just in the nick of time, Miss Ellen hit Mr. Gloomsbury from behind and finished him off, it would seem. So only the one who inflicted the fatal blow was the defendant. Yes, that is correct. But Master Soren tried to take all of the blame onto himself.
No way! This is pretty bad, Nick.
No kidding. Pretty bad is an understatement.
Story of Undertale?
I'll kill you.
I don't know why my brain went there. I don't know why my brain did that. It just did. Well, Mr. Wright,
Don't let it
seems
go
your
there
decision
again.
to call for Mr. Nickety has backfired. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
No!
Oh, that was a terrible noise too. I am a font of terrible noises today. Well, the true culprit behind the case remains the defendant, Ellen Wyatt.
Ah! Could this get any worse?
I
Pierce
feel
was
like you were supposed to do a different animation there.
Pierce was involved in the cover-up plot. I bet he still has something to hide. Hold it! Mr. Nickety, could you please tell this core about that in more detail?
That you say? What part do you mean, Mr. Wright? Could you be more specific?
Oh, alright. What part do I want to know more about? Please tell me more about the hiding of the body.
A body was discovered! Very well. After saying he would take the blame, Master Soren passed out. That's when I hit the body. On my foot. I quickly took the lift down to the hold. Where I hid Gloomsbury's still warm body in a spare Pegable lantern.
So it was you who hit the body, not the defendant?
Oh, we do have fun here. To think Mr. Butts would move the lantern containing the body to the reception hall. Well, I did not see that coming.
I don't blame you. Not even Larry can predict what Larry would do next. Maybe I should take another look at the lantern and evidence.
Mr. Wright, would you like that statement added to the witness testimony?
Yes. Yes, please.
Very well. Please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Nickety.
Objection!
Could it be? Is that what happened? If what I'm thinking is true, then maybe I could prove neither Ellen nor Soren did the deed. Mr. Nickety, you said the body was still warm when you hit it, correct? So then, what if Mr. Gloomsbury was still alive when you went to put his body inside the lantern?
That's preposterous.
Actually, this shows what the victim might have still been alive while inside the lantern. Thanks, Emma, for not putting the fucking wheel in the right place.
I'm afraid you're going to have to point out which part you're talking about, Mr. Wright, with your DS stylus.
This part right here.
Take that!
As you can see, the back end of the lantern is a door. And there's blood here on the wheel handle.
Objection!
That bloodstain may have gotten there. When the witness put the body inside the lantern. It in no way shows that the victim drew his last breath while he was still within the lantern.
I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth, for you see, in putting the lantern back together, the police inadvertently placed the inside handle on the outside and vice versa. In other words, the wheel handles got swapped.
Oh my. So they got swapped?
Yes, they got swapped.
What? That's ridiculous!
Not at all. If you compare the other male peggable lantern in the reception hall, it's quite obvious the wheel handle were attached backwards.
The detective in charge of the restoration will see me in my office later.
Sorry, Emma. And good luck. Goodbye to your pay grade.
Not my paycheck anymore, pal! In that case, what does the bloodstain on the wheel handle mean?
The bloodstain didn't get there by chance. When the victim was put inside
No shit, Sherlock!
When the victim was put inside the lantern, he was only unconscious, not dead. When he regained consciousness, he probably tried to get out of the lantern. So he grabbed the inner wheel handle, and that's when the blood got on it. This proves that the victim was still alive when he was inside the lantern!
At the time, I was completely convinced Bloomsbury was dead. Had I checked more carefully, he might have survived. Unfortunate to be sure, but not significant enough to change this trial's outcome.
Again, I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. It actually has a very significant impact on this case.
The victim was struck by the defendant and died from his injuries sometime later. There's nothing more to it.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong! Let's take another look at Mr. Bloomsbury's autopsy report, shall we? Please focus on the description of his injuries. It says, one contusion was found on the back of the head and one on the side.
Hey, Fitz.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Oh, I missed. And where are we at now?
Yes, the one Mr. Sprocket gave him, and the one Miss Wyatt delivered to finish him off.
No. The defense would like to submit a different interpretation.
a different interpretation.
The victim was knocked unconscious by the first blow and was then put into the lantern.
Then, what about the lethal blow by the defendant that the witness talked about?
Yes, well, that didn't happen. After some time, when the victim regained consciousness and tried to get out of the lantern, that's when he received the second blow that finished him off.
Taking into account the fact that the victim was alive for a period after the first hit, and that he did receive a second blow to the head, it does seem entirely possible.
Yes, as long as the first blow didn't kill the victim instantly, then there's a possibility that someone other than Mr. Sprocket or Miss White delivered the fatal blow.
Objection!
That's all you got. Even if there was a time lag between the two blows. The prosecution's position doesn't change.
What? What do you mean?
It's elementary, Mr. Wright. Learned that from my boy Herlock. After the reception, when the defendant was cleaning up the reception hall, the victim, who was supposed to be dead, suddenly came out of the lantern. Defendant grabbed the murder weapon. Grabbed the murder weapon, it was right there, and finished him off. Sorry, something flew up my nose. That theory sounds awfully familiar. Of course it does, Your Honor, because it's exactly what I proposed at the very start. The second blow was inflicted by the defendant after all. I see. It seems the tangle of mysteries has unraveled into a single thread.
Objection!
But as long as there's a possibility that the fatal blow was delivered by a third person, then we must continue the deliberations.
Give it up, Mr. Wright. Unless you have something to prove the presence of your precious third person.
Meow.
Okay, Nick, just relax. You can do this. Come on now, take some deep breaths.
Good idea. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Bonk.
This isn't working.
There, don't you feel better already?
No!
Cry, bitch!
I was right. I should calm down.
You're not helping.
Get my focus back. Go over
That's
everything
the
again.
point.
Hopefully, I'll be able to find something to prove that was a third person.
Your Honor,
I'm hyperventilating.
Phoenix appears to be going feral.
Let's see.
Not the first time.
First, why did Gloomsbury attack Ellen?
Because he was tired of taking the blame for the accident?
Something about the line of reasoning just didn't feel quite right to me.
No? How come?
Well, if it's just a personal vendetta, he had already stabbed Soren. So why then was he so determined to go after Ellen?
You're right. This whole thing feels so premeditated for a crime of passion.
But Gloomsbury didn't seem to have a personal grudge against Ellen. If Gloomsbury didn't have a personal reason to attack Ellen, then...
You've taken long enough, Mr. Wright. Now it's time for some action. And not in the usual way. What proof do you have that a third party was involved?
Alright, I'll show you. I'm not completely sure what I'm doing yet, but it looks like I'm out of time. This piece of evidence proved the involvement of a third person.
Take that!
I get it now. Now I see why this note bothered me so much when I first saw it. It looks like a note outlining the murder plot. Oh, hey, Emma. Why do you feel the need to write instruction to himself like this? Your Honor? Please take a look at this note.
This is the victim's murder plan, right?
Definitely a murder plan, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury didn't write this note himself?
What? This is how you intend to conjure up a mysterious third party, Mr. Wright? Can you even prove that victim wasn't written by the victim?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Very well. Then please present your evidence, Mr. Wright.
This evidence proves the victim didn't write the note.
Take that!
This is the weapon Mr. Gloomsbury used to stab Mr. Sprocket. I gotta pull this out of my ass.
I was wondering what you'd pull out this time.
Pull out!
Stop.
I'm
This is-
about to
this is-
dive in.
Dare I ask what that could possibly have to do with the note?
But the Gloomsbury prints were found at candelabra.
is always gay sex!
Plow, 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 plow. Get pregnant, Edward. Get pregnant, Edward. Get pregnant, Edward.
Oh, right, that's not how any of this works! I'm sending you to hell!
With the sexy spider?
No!
Oh.
I go to that one.
And the prints were and the
Let me
prints
get
were found.
Let
And the prints were.
me get Put her in the bug spray.
And the prints were from his left hand.
I got a can of Raid and I'm not afraid to use it.
Well, what, you also got a lighter or something?
Yes.
Oh god.
So that makes the victim left-handed, correct?
Exactly, Honor. The police looked into it too and confirmed as much. Now, take a look at the smudge writing in this note. Note how the smudging only starts from the middle of each preceding line. And this been written by a lefty, the writing would be smudged from the far left end. This means that whoever wrote this note was definitely right-handed. In other words, somebody other than the victim wrote this note.
What? Someone other than Mr. Bloomsbury wrote it. Then what does this note mean?
Mr. Bloomsbury followed this note to the letter when he attacked Miss White. So clearly, this note isn't a murder plan written by Mr. Bloomsbury, but rather, these are instructions to kill Miss White and shoot by somebody else.
Objection!
Ow! 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 It wasn't the victim who wrote these so-called instructions. Then who wrote it? Most of the people involved are right-handed, you know. He is correct. The majority of the family and their employees were on the airship are indeed right-handed.
Right hand.
I must say, it's a very rough and slipshod conjecture you've proposed.
Ah! I admit I haven't figured out
Damn,
who
even
wrote
I'm
it
calling
just
you out
yet.
on your bitch-ass conjecture.
My neck! I'm just remembering that fucking Ace Attorney stage play and fucking Phoenix made Edgewood meow like a cat.
You'll never get that from me.
And Neo died. Get out.
Bleh. Leave it to Mr. Edward to go for the jugular.
This corporate who ordered Gloomsbury to attack Ellen. What could their motive have been?
It doesn't seem very likely Ellen did anything to incur anybody's wrath, right?
Right. Not too likely, anyway. In that case, it has to be about Soren.
If somebody were to hold a grudge against Soren, what would it be about?
The accident, I guess. I can understand if Gloomsbury felt resentful about having to take the blame.
But the one who lost the most of that accident was Soren's sister. She lost her life, after all. Soren suffered too, of course. He was crushed by losing somebody so precious to him.
Somebody precious, huh? Soren's sister. Wait! There's one more person! There's someone else who must have held a grudge against Soren.
Did you figure something out?
I think so.
No.
I think there's somebody else used Gloomsbury to try and get revenge against Soren. My line of thinking is straight. And squiggly.
The rest of you isn't.
Let me finish. I said squiggly too.
Did you say somebody tried to get revenge against Mr. Sprocket, Mr. Wright?
The person who manipulated and used Mr. Bloomsbury was his father. The person who used Mr. Bloomsbury to try and get revenge on Mr. Sprocket and then finish Mr. Bloomsbury off to silence him was the man dear to Mr. Sprocket's older sister, Selena Sprocket's fiancée. Not that I'm not positive, but it's certainly possible. This fiancé could have made Bloomsbury attack Ellen to get revenge on Soren.
What? Her fiance? Order in the court! Order, I say! Yes, it does seem quite believable that Miss Selena Sprocket's fiancé would bear a grudge against Mr. Sprocket for his role in the accident.
Exactly, Your Honor. Maybe her fiancé was trying to murder Miss White in order to make Sprocket experience the same pain he felt.
Objection!
Mr. Sprocket. Sprocket's fiancé was a surgeon, if memory serves. But the only people who attended the reception were family and staff members.
That may be, but then that just means that Mr. Sprocket's fiancé must have been among those who attended.
What? Really?
Of course. Otherwise, how could he have killed Bloomsbury?
Oh, I see what you're doing. This is just another giant bluff, isn't it?
He's gonna bite me, chat.
Alright, I'll bite. Who exactly do you claim this fiancé to be? Yes, I would like to know as well.
Are you sure you're gonna be okay, Nick?
Maybe.
No.
When it comes to suspicious people, there's only one person on my list. I need to find something that connects him to Selena. This will help us identify Mr. Sprocket's fiancé. I knew it.
Take that!
Please take a look at this photo, Your Honor.
That photo.
Notice Miss Sprocket's pocket watch. Haven't we seen it somewhere before? Take it out, jackass.
Yes, now that you mention it, I do feel as if I've seen it somewhere before.
I believe we all seen it. Right here in this very courtroom.
Impossible.
That's right. The pocket watch in this photo. It's the same pocket watch Mr. Nickety has on him right now! This is clear proof of a strong connection between Pierce Nickety and Selena Sprocket.
This good. Was muted. Psychic damage.
I don't understand anything that's happening in this image.
Neither do I.
I don't want to.
I understand Skibbity Toilet. That's about it. No! Skibbity bop bop bop. Yes, yes.
Oh god, I hate this fucking guy.
Well, Mr. Nickety, is this true?
Mr. Nickety? You were once engaged to Selena Sprocket. That pocket watch, you keep as a memento of her, don't you? Mr. Nickety, you plan to rob Mr. Sprocket of his loved one. To make him feel the same pain as you. Isn't that right? But Mr. Sprocket managed to fight back and knock Mr. Bloomsbury unconscious. You thought Mr. Bloomsbury was dead and hid his body in the lantern. But then you noticed Mr. Bloomsbury regained consciousness. And so you finished him off to prevent your plan from being exposed. This is the defense take on what really happened in this murder case.
Mr. Wright, does this mean... wish to officially accuse this witness of the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury?
Defense accused Mr. Nickety of the murder. Accuse! The defense indicts Pierce Nickety on the charge of murdering Dumas Bloomsbury!
Oh my. Mr. Nickety, would you care to respond?
Bro keeps yapping, bro.
Brog.
Man, this lawyer just steps on and on and on.
Oh my god.
As you've guessed, this watch is a memento of Selena. It stopped working at the time of the accident, though.
Then you really are...
Yes, I was Selena's fiancé, and not just her fiancé, but the surgeon beside her deathbed.
Objection!
Mr. Dickety, why didn't you tell me any of this before?
Oh!
Shut it, you useless prosecutor! I thought you could be of use, but apparently this case was far too much for you.
Damn.
What did you say? If your office hadn't stuck its nose all up in this... I was not ready for him to say all up in this.
Yeah.
I could have swept it under the rug. Not only did you interfere with the case, but you even let me fall under suspicion. That's because you tried to kept trying to cover things up on the sly.
Covering things up wasn't your only involvement. The only person who had a motive to use the victim to try and kill Miss White was you!
Ugh. I'd better stand up.
Oh.
He's
What?
pissed.
Angry.
What?
Take off my cringe inhibitors. Malignant tumors. There are malignant tumors in this courtroom. Lesions oozing with false charges.
Malignant.
Okay. The tumors are one idiotic lawyer and one useless prosecutor. After the truth is revealed, I'll have the both of you incised from the legal world. I'd like to see you try. With the power of the Sprocket family, it'd be a cinch. Holy shit. The iPhone 2.
No, we're going back in time. This is the original iPhone.
No, it can't be. He upgraded it.
This is the Nokia.
I will now begin the operation.
It is the PS Vita. It's the Tiger Wrist game.
Neo.
What?
Well, what in the world happened to Mr. Nickety?
Looks like he's finally showing his true colors.
Not the virtual boy.
Nick, look what he did to that shoulder mech.
The iPhone 2 is more powerful than you.
I think he is losing it, to be honest.
Quit your yapping before I suture your chatty lips shut. I'm the Joker, baby! I could make this authentic if I had a face mask. I don't know where any of my face masks went.
Stop looking at me with those sad anime eyes. And Neo died.
It's like he's a completely different person.
Sure looks like it, huh? We can't let our guards down now. Mr. Nickety, it's finally time for you to testify to the truth.
It seems we're entering the final act at last. There will be no Phoenix Wright 7.
No, it'll be Miles Edgeworth's collection.
Witness, your testimony, please.
And Greatest. What? right to remain silent.
And he's not gonna say shit.
Mr. Nickety, why didn't you say anything? Ah, my eye! Ah! You just took a picture of me or something.
You're going in my cringe compilation. You want me to voluntarily testify, hoping I will make a slip of the tongue. Not a very impressive plan, or brain, I might add.
Ow! That was uncalled for. Oof, 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 oof. Poison damage.
If you want to know something, you ask the question. I will answer, but I have no intention of making any voluntary statements of my own.
Nah.
I ain't got to say shit.
I was wondering when we get a fucking witness to remain silent. That didn't pretend to be mute. Still, I still think the dissing of Phoenix Wright is still the best witness testimony.
Yeah.
Let's go to the concert footage real quick.
Ah!
I'll be over here orange
DL6.
justicing.
DL6.
No, that case is dead.
And yet I still have that thing on me. And the whip. But you know all about the whip now, don't you?
Neo, wake up. What are you doing on Tumblr? Get off.
Ah! What is he trying to do, Nick?
He's using the silent treatment as his strategy to avoid getting tripped up. Clever guy.
No more lies, Mr. Nickety. You will tell us nothing more but the truth from now on. Ah! What do you think you're doing? Do you know that X-rays are radioactive, you bitch? No one asked you to speak. Just keep quiet over there and play with your frills that appear to be part of your ribcage. You should really see a doctor. Both of you really should see a doctor. This is fucked up. How dare you? Well, this is a rather unconventional situation, but please proceed, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Hold it!
Number one victory royale, yeah, for tonight if out to get down. Get down, just killed on the board right now, just right out the NATO town.
If he won't speak
friends
voluntarily, then I guess I'll have to ask him something.
I revived him,
Okay,
they were
sure I
headed
asked.
southbound.
Help.
Isn't it true that when Mr. Bloomsbury regained consciousness inside the lantern, you murder him in order to silence him?
He was an excellent employee and very loyal to me. Gloomsbury was my right-hand man. We were outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered, outplanned. I'd suffer the most from losing him. You really think I'd kill a guy like that?
That would make sense only if you were innocent. But since your goal was revenge, you don't really have to care about something like that.
But I am innocent, I tell you. Don't try to force your conjectures onto me.
Grr! I guess without decisive evidence, I can't pursue this line of questioning any further. Added. Yes, please, Your Honor. Every little bit I can drag out of him helps, right?
Hold it!
Cause hell is forever, whether you like it or not. And a chance to behave better now.
You've been nursing a grudge against Mr. Sprocket over the loss of your fiance. Isn't that right?
I'd be lying if I said I felt no resentment whatsoever. But Master Soren didn't cause the accident on purpose. Master Soren himself has suffered greatly.
But you quit being a surgeon and found a way to get even closer to Mr. Sprocket. Wasn't that so you could carry out your revenge on him?
As far as I have gloves I could use to really get into character. One momento, my good bitch.
Go.
The fuck was that?
That was a
It's
sound
called
of a
getting into
glove.
character. Don't insult me, I'm sterile. Supporting Master Soren and Sprocket Aviation with my life's work is my penance for not being able to save Selena. This is how I honor her.
Yeah, Penance, my favorite Marvel character. Let's go.
Oh my god, your taste is dreadful.
To be honest, I kind of get it.
They ruined my favorite character to make penance.
They ruined
I
your
could never. They ruined Speedball.
They ruined your favorite character to give me my favorite character.
He put his dog in a penance suit.
He got that dog in
That's
him.
canon. That's real. That happened.
Got that dog in him.
The dog was bleeding.
Got that dog got the dog got the dog in him.
This is not. You're not helping your own case. I feel your devotion both as a fiancé and a surgeon. Your statement breaks my heart. I've never thought of exacting revenge on Master Soren.
Never thought of it, huh? I guess I should probably take that with a pound of salt.
Right? Would you like to ask that?
Yes. Yes, please, Your Honor. I have to find an opening somehow.
How dare you make a testimony out of my words?
If he won't speak
What was that noise?
that's just me stopping myself from repeating the same thing. On the day of the incident, you were constantly surrounded by your subordinates. Is that right?
Absolutely. I was in someone's line of sight at all times. After all, I was busy taking care of every detail of the event. Mr. Edgeworth, I believe your investigation backs up my claim. I got statements that said groups of his subordinates weren't with him in rotation. So he was always with someone. As the prosecutor just said, I couldn't even get close to the lantern containing Gloomsbury by myself. Let alone kill him.
Pierce didn't have a chance to get close to the victim alone, huh? Yes. Yes, I like to have that statement added to his testimony.
Did you just make a fucking testimony? Very well.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nick? Is there a
Yeah.
chance for us here?
What?
Well, as long as we have some kind of testimony from him, there has to be. We'll just have to compare the testimony against the evidence, and...
Just try to relax, lawyer. You're wasting your breath. Did I hear you imply that I deserve death? I have nothing for his part beyond this point.
Find an inconsistency, right?
Exactly. I have to do this right.
Am I a winner or a sinner? 'Cause it's cut and dry. Fair is fair, an eye for an eye.
Objection!
Mr. Nickety testifies that he was always with someone at the time of the incident, and never had a moment alone to commit the crime.
Yes, and the police investigation backs up that statement, doesn't it?
There was an opportunity, in fact, one and only one. A moment when Mr. Nickety could have killed Mr. Gloomsbury without anyone noticing.
What?
And the one thing that made that moment possible is shown here in the photograph.
If all those people watching, I couldn't have possibly committed murder. Do not believe him, Your Honor. This lawyer is a malignant tumor. He wants to infect this judicial body. I was not the talking bitch. Mr. Nickety, I would ask that you keep quiet this time. We need to evaluate the defense's claim. And your yammering only serves to throw further suspicion your way. Mr. Wright, let's see this one thing you mentioned. But be warned, if I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep this in mind. I designed this rhyme to kill you in court. But be warned, this had better not be one of your offhanded claims.
Who do you think you're talking to, Mr. Edgeworth?
Someone makes so many offhanded claims, we have to make a bedroom game of it. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please put out for us that one thing that made the moment of the murder possible.
That one moment when it was possible for Mr. Nickety to kill Mr. Gloomsbury. The one thing that made that single moment possible is this. The one thing that made the moment of the
wait,
murder
wait, hold on for a
possible.
second. I just realized something about this picture.
What?
Look at what Pierce is looking at.
Yeah, he's like looking at the.
He's
pool.
looking at the lamp.
Yeah.
It's this
Mothman
thick moon
for-
fog that engulfs the entire reception hall.
Thick black.
It is
fog,
under the
right?
cover of this
I-
fog that Mr. Nickety murdered the victim!
Jesus.
What?
Bro's trying to get some air, bro.
Mr. Nickety was standing right next to the lantern that Mr. Bloomsbury was in. It was the only moment the murder could have been committed without being seen.
Objection!
I can accept there was a moment when the witness was obscured from others by the fog. But that doesn't prove Mr. Nickety killed the victim at that very moment. If you can't prove the crime was committed during the reception, the trial ends here.
I was so caught up in finding footholds that I forgot to think that far ahead.
Well done, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time to call this trial's time of death. Me playing doctor with a Maury let me like.
Meh.
No, really, every time I do that, I just go,
Yeah, we know. We heard you. We hear you and we play with you. Every time you play doctor, you always call a time of death.
Time of death. Yesterday.
well, Mr. Wright, can you prove the murder happened during the reception?
Oh God!
Don't even bother! His claims are dead on arrival!
Time of death is-
iPhone 3! Victory is within your grasp, prosecutor!
You are victorious, Royale.
Quiet witness. I have no interest in victory. All I care about is the truth. Von Karma's just like, you fucking fought?
You.
You are not my child.
Yeah, you stole him, you bastard.
He's like kicks
I
him like
adopted
Victor.
him.
That's still
Is
the
that-
same as
Proceed-
stealing when you
proceeds
killed
to-
the father.
As it proceeds to punt him like Victor.
One that we can only arrive at through further deliberation.
Edgeworth?
We all know Von Karma subscribes to the notion
Enough of
the
this!
baby.
Your Honor, this trial is over. No, Mr. Nickety, that is for me to decide. Mr. Wright, can you prove it? Can you prove that the murder was committed during the wedding reception? Why is there no verdict yet? There's obviously nothing answers. The prosecutor, the judge. That malignant stupidity is so advanced, not even the best surgeons can save them. In fact, not even a brain transplant could cure them. This court is infected with idiocy! It's a pandemic!
Objection!
Mr. Nickety! That's enough already!
Finally ready to give up, are you?
No, just the opposite actually. I'll prove the murder was committed during the reception by you!
Ah! Prove it. Can you really, Mr. Wright? I really enjoy doing Crazy Pierce.
Yes, I can, Your Honor. To be honest, I don't know exactly how to do it just yet. But if I want to get the truth Edgeworth was talking about, I just have to find that way.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Let's have your proof. Enough of this foolishness! He's just enough. Stop him from speaking, Your Honor! I will do nothing of the sort. Just a district court judge. But enough of your foolishness, Mr. Nickety. This judicial body will not succumb to the influence of money or power. Hasn't it literally already done that multiple times?
Well, by women, yeah.
You should try dick sometime, Judge. I'm the...
I
unfortunately,
prescribe you with dick.
I'm the straight judge, you fool. Now, Canadian judge, his boyfriend's lovely. Now then, let's hear it, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your truth.
Think, Phoenix. Remember everything you learned so far. You can do this. You can find the definitive
Somehow
evidence
you
that will
know
lead us to the
it.
truth.
You'll get the court by your side.
Look into my head, Danganronpa! Think, Phoenix! How can I prove the murder
Horrifying.
took place during the wedding reception? If Pierce committed the murder during the reception, then he had to have used...
The murder weapon.
Yes! The weapon that was used to strike the victim twice!
His disease is worse than I thought.
According to the autopsy report, the victim was hit by the same object both times. So without a doubt...
He has lasers in his brain.
This must be what they call brain rot.
This is SCP-049 origin story, real.
So without a doubt, Pierce used it to commit the murder. The weapon used to kill Mr. Gloomsbury was... the Timekeeper.
I'd have a perfect character name for this guy.
Uh,
And one I've already used it for another character. In a different game.
Pierce struck
use
the
a
victim
little
during that one single moment.
recycling.
What?
We do a little recycling. It's good for the planet.
Then he must have used the Timekeeper. Come to think of it, wasn't it also used for something else during the reception?
That's been me. I've been making a fucking Phantom playlist, and I've recycled like half of the songs from my Zilch playlist, but it's fine. I'm still making them legally distinct trademark.
During the reception, the Timekeeper
I have
also
nothing.
used for...
I have nothing in common with that louch. He's a bitch.
No!
I don't
You're a
have an identity
bitch!
crisis. I don't have an
The
identity crisis,
Timekeeper has been
motherfucker.
activated. That's right! The Timekeeper had been activated during the reception. If we activate the
Breathing,
Timekeeper
breathing.
again now and find any trace evidence of the murder, that will be conclusive proof that Gloomsbury was killed during the reception. Get out of my head!
Frieden Kriegen.
A
The
special,
operation was a failure.
a special ceremony took place during the reception in question.
What kind of special ceremony?
It was called the First Startup of Love. Apparently, the couple activated the Timekeeper for the first time during it.
Does that mean the timekeeper here in evidence isn't activated at the moment? And what would happen if we were to activate it? I'm not marrying you.
Why don't we see for ourselves? It would give us a chance to examine it. And while we're at it, we just might find some conclusive evidence.
What? No! You can't activate it. Mr. Nickety, keep quiet or I'll have you thrown out of court.
Gets even louder.
Ah! By the way, Mr. Wright, this is supposed to be a time machine, right? We aren't going to travel back in time to the Stone Age or anything, are we?
I don't think we have to worry too much about that, Your Honor.
Bam, bam, dun, 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 dun. I'm still a little nervous nonetheless, but the truth must be known. Very well, go ahead and start up the timekeeper. DS puzzle upon you.
No.
The moral we can take from this case is don't give Rayman fans time machines.
What?
You heard me.
Do you know how, Nick?
I think so? Maybe? I don't know? Oh, hey, random, maid. That one maid right there. Right
When
there.
they put them together, oh, how romantic it was!
Okay, bye, maid. Let's see. I think the symbol of groom's love must be the timekeeper itself. What symbol of the bride's love would fit together with the timekeeper? Oh, I know. That has to be it.
Mr. Wright? Are you ready to activate the time machine now?
Yes, Your Honor. The symbol of the bride's love that's necessary for activating the timekeeper is...
Key.
No, the pendant. Miss White's pendant. So if Miss White has this key-shaped hole pendant and Sprocket has the key pendant, that mean they're fucking...
There's 40.
It's the symbol of the bride's love that's necessary for activating the timekeeper.
The numbers, Phoenix. What do they mean?
You're just insane.
What? Does that mean that you can start it up with Miss White's pendant?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Very well. Please try it now, Mr. Wright.
Okay, here I go. But first I have to figure out where the pendant goes. Oh god, please, no.
Oh,
No!
baby!
Yes, puzzles!
You just went right by it.
I did. Oh.
Yeah, there.
It was literally facing you. I had to say something because I knew we would be here a while.
This hole looks like a good spot. I'll try setting the pendant here.
Beep.
It fits! This must be the right spot. I have to find a place to insert the key. This hole in the middle of the pendant. Could this be it? Soren sticking his cock in there.
Look at both torches, see the
Oh, oh my god.
I will make comments about the rotisserie chicken again.
It worked. The timekeeper has been activated. Now all I have to do is find the proof that the crime was committed during the reception. And Mini Soren still has his notebook.
Yeah. That's cute.
I think I found it. Conclusive evidence that the murder was committed during the wedding reception. The clock stopped. Just as suspected, there's evidence of murder inside the timekeeper, Mr. Nickety. The timekeeper was only activated and open during the wedding reception, right?
No! Stop!
So that means this is conclusive proof that the crime was committed during the wedding reception!
Ah!
After you killed the victim under the cover of the fog, you closed the timekeeper to hide the bloodstain, didn't you?
No. Helen killed Bloomsbury. It wasn't me, I tell you! Give it up, Mr. Nickety. How could a defendant who was in the middle of pledging her love have possibly committed the murder when everyone was watching her? Family! Yes! All the family members conspired together to kill him!
There's no way you can talk your way out of this one, Mr. Nickety! During the reception, during that one dreamlike moment, only one person could have used the timekeeper to beat the victim to death. And that one person was you, Pierce Nickety! Breakdown time, you ready?
Not yet.
Uh,
1 second. Just knocked over some sauce. And ready. Ah!
hmm.
No. This isn't over yet. Don't give up! Oh no. I cut an artery! Stupid thing! We must stop the bleeding now! Give me forceps! Forceps, I say! Hey, where is everyone? Fine. Just alone. I'll do it all by myself! I can fix anything! Repair anything! You have to do better. I didn't catch all. I would have been able to save her.
Aw.
And this her. If only I'd treated her first. If only that Soren hadn't been there! Ah! Selena! No.
Did he give
Heart
himself a
attack.
fucking heart attack?
He might have.
Witness, are you finally ready to tell us the truth? I'm dying on the floor from a heart attack, asshole!
No, he's fine.
It's just as the lawyer deduced.
So it was all a revenge scheme against Soren Sprocket.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to lose someone you love right in front of you? Selena's condition was clearly more critical than Soren's. But in spite of that, she said,
Don't do it.
"Please help Soren!"
Please help Soren.
The voice of an angel.
Sprocket's last words. That's what she really meant by those words.
I was able to grant her wish. But at the price of her life.
So you got a job with Sprocket Aviation, waited for your chance to get revenge. You got close to Mr. Gloomsbury and hatched this plot. Is that right?
Bloomsbury already bore a grudge against Soren. So when I tempted him with an even better position, he immediately took the bait. He was your accomplice. Someone you shared the same goal as you. Why was it necessary for you to kill him? I didn't expect Soren to strike Gloomsbury out on the Vista deck. And I certainly never imagined he'd make his way there along the outside wall.
Soren's love is the real deal, after all.
My plan had been compromised. So for the time being, I hid his body in the lantern. And tried to think of my next move. If only I had a seesaw.
Then Mr.
Dang,
Gloomsbury
nabbit.
came to the and then Mr. Gloomsbury came too during the second wedding reception.
You know, I just realized this character actually does have a lot with in common with Korokio. Dead loved ones, sort of similar hair color. Had a mask thing for a while, the long gloves.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw Gloomsbury, I instantly hit upon an idea. To pin the blame of Gloomsbury's murder on Ellen. You tried to break up the couple by making the bride out to be a murderer. How despicable. Soren was getting the company and the wedding. Both things that were supposed to be Selena's. He took every happiness from her.
Despicable, mate.
Who's the despicable one here? Do you think what you did would make her happy? I know it wouldn't. But I couldn't just stand by, watching Soren enjoy his happiness. I was going to have Soren taste the same pain I had, then take over Sprocket Aviation. I would take back from him all of the happiness that was rightfully Selena's. Time stopped for me the day I lost her. Just like this pocket watch of hers.
Hey, Ellen. Pierce? Miss White?
Why do you keep saying Miss White? It's Wyatt.
Her fucking pun name is Ellen, is all in white, so I just say White. I believe Selena would have said, leave this ill will behind. Your time is yours to live.
It's too late for me. Time will never advance for me ever again.
What?
It can't be. I see now, Selena. What I did was wrong. Whew. Whew. Yeah, a second after that. Jesus. Excuse me for a minute, I put my whole pussy into that.
Bruh!
I have to say the most concerning thing. It breaks the tension. I see no further need to continue this trial. Bailiff, please take Mr. Nickety away.
Pierce Nickety, another inconsolable time traveler who lived in time that stood still.
Time stands still. Praises more.
Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by.
Sensation stronger. Experiences.
Now then, I must render my verdict regarding the defendant.
Hey, Soren.
Your Honor, before you give your ruling, would you please allow me a moment?
Hey, you finally decided to do something.
Very well.
Where have you been? Oh, wait, yeah, you haven't been here.
Yeah.
Ellen, there's something I need to say to you.
Yes, Soren?
I've put you through something truly horrible. This whole thing happened all because of me. I would understand if you wanted to call off our marriage.
What? not. I never once thought that.
Why did you have that under your dress?
If you stay with me, you'll only face even more trying times in the future.
What do you mean?
The truth of this incident and the car accident before it. I'm going to tell the public everything. I expect the company's reputation will suffer, and I'll take a lot of criticism. But I feel I can only really start over once I get everything out in the open.
Soren.
After all that's happened, I might not have the right to ask you this, but... Well, how should I say this? Maybe I'll just...
Will you divorce me?
Oh! A life without me probably won't be very easy, but... Will you marry me?
Yes, of course.
Aww. Cute.
We're gonna hold a friggin' wedding here.
Aww,
like-
they're
oh.
together. That's cute. Your Honor, thank you for this. Thank you for this time. Please continue with your ruling.
Very well. But first, I have one question.
You can't do that, Your Honor.
I am an ordained minister. It's really easy to get that, actually. It's like really easy. Like super easy to get, like, wedding. It's honestly a little too easy, actually. Do the two of you pledge your eternal love for each other to the goddess of justice, Venus? We're Christian.
I do, Your Honor.
I do.
Does the prosecution or the defense have any objections? Well done, Your Honor. No objections here.
The defense has no objections either, Your Honor.
Then why are you pointing?
Shrek busts in. I object!
Throws bottle. The judge just throws his hammer like Mjolnir.
Bonk.
This court finds the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. No, wait, no, that's not good. The court finds the defendant, Ellen Sprocket.
Not
Not
guilty!
Guilty!
Not guilty.
Da-da-da-da-da. Edward thinking about his collection.
Would it be you and me, right?
I like to keep the men and women guessing.
We're just going to add that to your amount of wax you're taking tonight. This court is adjourned.
We did it, guys. We beat a surgeon.
Like a surgeon.
Oh my god.
Cutting for the very first time. Organ transplants are my life. Whoa. Oh. Whoa.
Ellen, Soren, congratulations. Mr. Knight, I can't thank you enough. If you had exposed the truth, Soren and I we wouldn't. But now you can finally start your new life together, right? Thank you!
Mr. Wright, we'll be holding our real wedding ceremony in the near future. Would you do us the honor of coming to it?
Are you going to remember that going to
I
be
want
there.
you to witness our fresh start.
Of course. I wouldn't miss it for the world. And Ellen, this time it'll finally be happily ever after, right? Oh yes. The two you have preserved and overcome this trial together.
Persevere.
Persevered.
Shut up. Now, no matter what obstacles come your way, I'm sure you'll be able to handle them. And there's another thing I'm sure of it too. This person will always be watching over the two of you.
Selena.
My badge!
Here, look at my fucking bed.
This person will always be watching over you. Larry Butts.
No.
I don't know.
It's
Is
Selena.
Selena.
Yeah, Selena.
Take that!
It's the only picture of a single person.
I mean, we also had the car crash.
I'm not gonna do the
Don't do
That's
the car.
not.
Don't do the car crash.
Nick, I'm going to strangle you.
So, Selena, yes, I think you're right. And we promise to live life to the fullest for Selena's sake too. Right, Soren?
Who are you
That's
again?
right. Well, we better be on our way.
Yes, my love. Wow, the old threshold carry, huh? Way to show off. Damn, you're strong.
We'll be seeing you. Goodbye for now.
I'll be looking forward to that wedding.
Hold on tight, Ellen.
You better believe I will. I'm never letting you go.
And then they fell over dead. Wait, what? Oh, that's a low sailing!
There they go.
They just break through the fucking
Damn
ceiling.
it.
Rocket boots.
Oh, hey, Athena.
You don't that with myself, are you, boss?
Yep.
She's okay.
You're taking us too, right?
Well, I bet there's gonna be all kinds of fancy food there.
I don't
Athena,
have to pay for nothing, pal.
when did you get here?
Just now, I would have been here to cheer you guys on earlier, but Trissy never gave me a chance to slip away.
You're going to be in a bigger trouble with her later. Speaking of the wedding, maybe I should ask them to invite Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, really? But he thought Ellen was guilty all the way to the end.
That may be true, but I kind of love him.
This claim's
Yeah.
are dead on arrival. Grasp prosecutor. Quiet witness.
Because of course she still
I have no
sides with
interest in
Phoenix.
victory.
Still
All I
cares
care
about.
about is the truth. Von Karma, what are you doing here? On the top rope!
It's I'm going to kill.
I have multiple open windows in my house, including one very close to my room that leads out to the street. I just realized that.
I'm going to kill
Pay
you.
no attention to that!
We're just
You will
talking
die
about
in
gay
real-
lawyers.
Von Karma with the cane.
Mask will now die in real life.
One that we can only arrive at through further deliberation.
If he hadn't stood up for us when he did, the trial probably would have ended here.
I've been
You mean
throwing this
Mr.
last
Edgeworth
chicken
gave
ball.
us that chance?
Maybe. Though, knowing him, I doubt he ever tell even if I asked.
Well,
Game.
if that's how you. Well, that's gay. If you know how you feel about it, Nick, why not try to get him invited?
Well, you're gay.
Hey, Maya!
Characters that are not officially gay but are written like gay
Okay.
characters.
For real.
What? No.
Mars
I never
Edgeworth and
have
Nick
either.
Phoenix. 7
Our
max.
bouquet has been tossed by the bride. Talk about a fierce competition.
I remember seeing a post that was like, in AA7, like the best way to go about it would be to just like Phoenix and Edward having wedding rings on, but like nobody brings it up. They're just shown in the sprites and nobody brings it up.
Oh my god, that reminds me, in Sam and Max Season 3,
Mm.
you can get a wedding ring, and if you use it on Max, there's like a whole dream sequence of them.
Oh my god!
And then it just goes, what are you thinking about, Sam?
Maya.
It's really funny.
That's good. That's really
Let me find it, actually.
I'm not sure it's really supposed to be all that competitive.
I'm a pretty good jumper, so I think I got a chance.
She's definitely missing the point of the whole thing. And Larry, how did you manage to stay so quiet for so long?
He's got like duct tape over his mouth.
Shut up! Wishing the lady you fell in love with every happiness is what a real man does.
Thank you for realizing this.
I'm pretty sure that relationship was over before we even began, Larry.
Ah, darn it all! Only I
You're
was
muted.
10 years younger, this would have gone differently. Hands of time! Why won't you turn back for me?
If I could turn back down.
God,
Moo.
this-
Today is Ellen and Soren's third wedding ceremony and reception. Heard the bride and groom insisted to be on the Flying Chapel again. In the
Yeah,
end,
that's why they don't have to pay for new backgrounds.
they were nice enough to invite me and Maya, and Athena kinda invited herself. They also invited Edgeworth, Emma, and even Larry. They say third time's the charm, right? I really do hope it's happily ever after for them this time around. Still, I get the feeling it's going to be one rowdy party. Anime?
Ready when
Yep.
you are.
Oh
Okay.
Oh,
I love their
Here
outfits.
we go.
Third wedding
Oh my god.
ceremony.
Oh god, who's gonna catch it?
Who's gonna fucking catch it?
Oh, look at Emma.
Oh,
What?
Larry! No.
Nice.
Dead.
Oh, he's
Dead.
fucking dead.
Killed. Executed.
Oh my god, look at them standing together.
It's forbidden.
Aw,
Kiss.
cute.
No, don't kiss. I
Also, fuck over the bouquet.
Why
That
is
was
the bouquet
it?
Thing a thing?
Yeah. That was cute.
Why is the bouquet thing
What
a
the-
thing? in the first
That's
place?
my background? Whoa!
Whoa!
This is an upgrade.
Oh, that's cool. I want to see that one.
This is an upgrade.
I
Wow.
just realized what the perfect song for that entire chapter is.
What?
Time in a Bottle.
Ah,
Well,
Yeah.
that was the Apollo Justice trilogy.
Hell yeah.
Thoughts? Well, I'm an Ace Attorney fan, so I loved all of them, so... My thoughts are valid.
to pink.
I wanted to look at that background.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that one picture. That's cool.
What? I don't.